Australia is an expensive country, and as a newcomer or new international student in Australia, finding a job is usually a priority, and inability to find a part-time work can cause a financial stress during your first few months here in Australia. But finding a work in Australia can be a challenge in itself, as you might be unfamiliar with some of the work conditions, requirements, and so on. So in this video, we will talk about some of the common mistakes that you need to avoid during your job search here in Australia as an international student or as a newcomer here. Now, some of the mistakes, I did it myself when doing the job search, and some of the students we have spoken to, and we have done some research online as well. So in this video, we'll talk about the top 10 mistakes you will need to avoid when you're doing your job search. You ready? Let's get into it. The first one on our list is starting search for jobs after arriving in Australia. Now, if you have already got a visa that allows you to work in Australia, that's great. You should start preparing for your job applications and for your job searching before coming to Australia, not after arriving here. And that includes preparation for things like your resume and cover letters as well. But the first thing will be to start searching what sort of jobs are available in the city you're arriving here. Of course, if you're arriving in a larger cities like Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane, there are plenty of opportunities available, and there are a lot of different type of industries you can work in as well. But some cities may not enjoy that sort of availabilities or flexibilities for the job roles. So you need to start searching for your jobs before arriving in Australia. Platforms like seek.com.au, Indeed, Adzuna, these are some of the popular job platforms where you can start searching even before arriving here. You can also search jobs on LinkedIn as well. So the first mistake some students make is they start doing their job search after arriving here, not after they got their visa notifications and before arriving here. And this is something you need to avoid. Now, in case you can't access some of the websites that I just mentioned because of some geolocation restrictions, then you can use services like VPN, which can allow you to do your research on these job portals. We have got a partnership with NordVPN. If you would like to get a VPN service, please check the link in the description box below, where we got a specific deal for students and newcomers who can enjoy NordVPN services but at a much discounted rate. By the way, this video is not sponsored by NordVPN. It's just one service that we have partnered with, and they are quite useful. So if you would like to sign up, please check the link in the description box below. The second mistake on our list is not adapting the resume according to the Australian format. The chances are that the Australian format is quite different than the one in your home country. Things like the length of the resume, which is preferably to be between 1 to 2 pages. 1 page if you're looking for part-time work, and if you're looking for full-time, ideally 2 pages, not including your photographs on Australian resume, including some basic contact details, putting your experience first than any other skills or education, and making sure that you're listing your latest work experience at the top is part of Australian resume format. Now, if you are not familiar with this format, we've got a free template on our website, not only for just resume, but for cover letter as well. So please go ahead and download it using the link in the description box below. And we have got few different formats, including 1 page or 2 pages. So choose whichever you need, and you can customize it according to your needs as well. Now, the third mistake on our list is not tailoring your resume and cover letter for the job applications. And this is what I was doing as well when I was applying for different job roles. I was basically sending the same resume for each job role I was applying for. But in Australia, it's important for you that you look at the job description given in the job ad, and then you customize your resume and cover letter based on that job description and the requirements given in the job ad. So you need to pick up some keywords given in the job ad, making sure that those keywords are there in your resume. Nowadays, my job searching process goes something like this. So I go to the job ads website first and then look for the job that I'm interested in. So in this case, it would be like a seek.com.au. Then I look for a specific job I'm interested in, and then I look for what are the job description and requirements given in that job ad. And I make sure that I use some of those keywords in my resume and in my cover letter as well. And if you're unsure about it, you can use ChatGPT or other AI services where you can just copy paste the job ad and put your resume in there, and you can ask ChatGPT or other AI services to customize your resume according to that job ad. But hey, you still need to verify and check through whether the information that ChatGPT has used is correct and valid, so you'll still need to do some manual work for that. But every time you're sending your resume or cover letter to any job application, make sure to customize it. The next mistake that many newcomers and international students usually make is they focus only on online applications. Look, online platforms are great for finding jobs, but for finding your first part-time or casual job in Australia, it can be a challenge online, as there are many factors that comes into play. So to overcome this, you can do what we call door knocking, where you can go from one business to the other and ask if they have any job opportunities available. You can print out some resumes and you can hand them out, especially if you have some experience in some of those job roles. So it can help you to get that part-time job by door knocking instead of applying just online. Personally speaking, my first job in Australia did not came through online application. And I also know many people and students in my circle that they don't get their first job through online applications. I'm not suggesting by any means that you can't get job through online portals. Many people do, but it's not possible for everyone. So instead of just focusing on online applications, you need to go out and then start handing out your resume, especially when you're looking for that part-time or casual jobs. The next mistake on our list is ignoring networking. Now, if you have been watching our previous videos, you know we have been talking about networking a lot, and you need to build that network when you are coming to Australia, because chances are that you don't have any support network here. And many newcomers and international students just ignore networking when they first arrive. They think they'll do it when they are graduating or when they're looking for full-time jobs. But even for part-time work and casual work, networking can be great. Networking is just about building relationships. So my suggestion would be to attend as many events as you can and try to build that support network in Australia. Some of the popular platforms where you can find events that you can attend includes Meetup and Eventbrite. And the next mistake on our list is underestimating the power of volunteering. Now, Australian employers love local Australian experience on the people's resume. It is a bit of challenge to verify the overseas experience for many employers. And as a newcomer in a country, you may not have a local experience. So how to overcome this situation? The answer is volunteering. Volunteering is basically going out and helping some community organizations without getting paid. But they look great on your resume. Not only just because you have a local experience, but it shows that you are there to help the community when it's needed. And now some of you will be like, so where can I find these volunteer opportunities? Don't worry, we have got you sorted again here. There are a couple of really good platforms I'm going to suggest you in terms of looking for these volunteer opportunities. The first one is Seek Volunteer. It is from the same job ad website that I mentioned earlier, but it's just a different platform specifically for volunteering. So the name is again Seek Volunteer. And the other one is Go Volunteering. So that's another platform. So these are the two popular platforms where you can find volunteering opportunities in Australia. So go ahead and have a look at them after watching this video. The next mistake is not following up after job application or after job interviews. So once you have sent your job application, or if you were called up for an interview and you're still waiting to hear the outcome of that, well, it might be a good opportunity for you to follow up with an email or a courtesy call. Ideally, I would suggest you to send a follow-up email to the employer that you have spoken with, or if they have shown any interest in your job application, to see the progress of your job application itself. If you have sent a job application, ideally after a few days, let's say within a week, you should send another follow-up email asking if they have any interest in your job application or not. And if you have done a job interview, it's a must to do it within next 3 days after the job interview, just to find out how is it progressing. But it's also a good reminder for the employers to show that you're actually interested in getting that job. I wouldn't suggest you to do it too often as well, as it might look you're a bit pushy in that case, but at least once you should definitely follow up. And in a job interview, if you haven't heard back from them for a couple of weeks, you can send another reminder just to follow up. The next mistake on our list is not building a strong LinkedIn profile. So LinkedIn is a very popular professional network, and many recruiters and agencies look for people who they can find for their respective employers. And I have spoken to many international students in the past where many of them don't even have a profile on LinkedIn. So it is a big sin if you don't have a LinkedIn profile. But it's not just a matter of having a LinkedIn profile. It's important to polish it up regularly as well. What I mean by polishing it up, by making sure that you have up-to-date photo have a smile on your face when taking that photo. There's a little bit of hack here for you all. It's if you show your smile with the teeth in that LinkedIn photo, it's a plus. It does have some sort of psychological impact on the recruiters and people who are actively hiring. But apart from that profile photo, you will also need to make sure that you have a good headline. Make sure to list out all your experiences correctly and also your education as well. If you're currently studying somewhere, make sure to mention that in your LinkedIn profile as well. We would love to create a video specifically focused on LinkedIn. So if you are interested in that, just type LinkedIn below. If we get at least 50 comments, we'll try to create that video soon. Just type in LinkedIn in the comment section below and we'll see your interest and we'll try to create it sooner. Next mistake is not trying to look for a hidden job market in Australia. Now, you may not have heard about this term called hidden job market. Well, as the name suggests, it's hidden. It's not there on the platform. It's not available on any of the job portals. So how do you find these jobs? Well, the answer is in referrals. It's estimated that a lot of jobs don't even get advertised. They just get filled in through the referrals of the people who are working in an organization. We actually have a complete video on a hidden job market as well. So if you're interested to watch, we'll leave a link in the description box below. But in a short summary, referrals is a great way to find those hidden job markets. And how do you get those referrals? Well, through your network. As I said again, if you need more details on how to avoid this mistake, I suggest you to watch our hidden job market video, which will be linked in the description box below. And last mistake on our list is lying on the job applications. Yes, people do lie on their resume. And that's where it gets quite complicated. Even for part-time or full-time work, when people are lying, employers can easily catch if they are lying or not. So for example, if you are applying for a job as a barista, the employer can actually test you by asking you to make a coffee for them. So if you're looking for part-time work and you have gone to a business and they're saying, okay, we're looking for barista, and you have a lot of experience, so would you mind just jumping on our coffee machine and then make me a couple of cups of coffee to see if you actually can make that or not. And another thing is, when you lie, they can always do a cross-check with references you have provided. And these days, some employers can even call your overseas references. So one thing is that don't lie on your resume with the local work experience if you don't have one. You can put your overseas experience, or as I mentioned earlier, you can look for some volunteering opportunities so that you can put that on your resume as a local work experience. Because you have stayed till now, here's a little bonus mistake that you need to avoid, which is about giving up too soon. Look, applying for many jobs and getting rejections or not even hearing back can be frustrating. But many international students unfortunately give up so soon when they're looking for their part-time job opportunities. So my suggestion would be to have a bit of patience and persistence, as it might take a bit long to get that part-time work. But if you keep trying and keep applying, you'll eventually get there. I did it myself like that as well. Many other students have done the same thing in the past. It can take a bit of time to get your first part-time job or casual job. But after you have got one, then it becomes a bit easier as you have got some local work experience, and that helps a lot. So a quick suggestion for you all here is don't give up too quickly. Now, while waiting for some part-time work, if you can't find anything, my suggestion would be to at least get started with some sort of a freelance work or contract work that can help you to get at least pay your bills. In that case, things like food delivery services like DoorDash can be helpful. At least it can help you to get started paying some of your bills. It won't be very fancy, but at least it gets the job done. If you would like to sign up for that service, we also have a link for that in the description box below. I'm not suggesting you that you should be doing this job for a full time or for a long time, but at least when you're first starting, you need some sort of a thing to get you moving in terms of your finances. So at least it helps with that. So these were some of the mistakes that you need to avoid when you're looking for your job in the first few months. Now, if you're going to arrive in Australia soon, or if you have just arrived, this video here will be really helpful, as we are giving you some tips on how to budget for the very first few months when you are in Australia. I'll give you some key tips and strategies that will help you to save some money on your living and other costs of living. So click the video over there and I'll see you there.